My top three legislative priorities would be energy. It would have to be economic development, and it would have to be improved education. Energy, because I think we need more financial investments in research and development and ways to improve the way we use energy and collect energy. Economic development, because we need more businesses, we need more thriving small businesses, and we need to create more infrastructure for housing and companies. Improved education, because I believe that we need to put more STEM back into our schools. We need to add trade programs back into our schools as well. We have to create a pathway for our young people to become productive adults in society once they graduate high school. It's extremely important to incorporate the needs of the business community and policymaking. I believe that small businesses and companies in general is what keeps the people who live in our communities working. Top priorities when it comes to public education. For one, I think we need to increase our educator's salary. I think that's important. Our educator's salary have to meet the inflation rates that's going on right now, the rising cost of living. We also need to fund our education system when it comes to technology. We need more tech into our schools. Obviously, we live in a society where children are more faster than we were when we were younger. So we have to be able to improve our education. Also, STEM and trades. We understand that everybody who goes to college is not necessarily going to graduate, and everybody who graduates high school is not necessarily going to go to college. So we always want to have that pathway for people to become productive adults in society. Transportation is extremely important right now. I think we need more investments into our infrastructure so we can be able to facilitate transportation. I think the way society is going right now, we have to be able to have more eco-friendly transportation. I think that's what everybody wants. Planning for the future when it comes to natural resources like water is extremely important. I've seen in other states, such as California, how they have the the information on how water is going to be utilized, and it's not being utilized effectively. Whenever I look at the reports for Texas, I can see within 5 years, because of growth of Texas, they're going to have a huge water crisis. I think that's something that we have to start looking at and figuring out now. How can we create desalination plants near the ocean? How can we effectively utilize water? What can we do in order to work with farmers to ensure our farming industry has water infrastructures? Workforce development in my district, in my opinion, I think is extremely important. When I look at the demographics of the district, it seems as though you have more younger people who are starting families move into the district. But the problem is we don't have enough jobs to sustain them. When it comes to workforce development, that go hand in hand with economic development and bringing more small businesses here to our community. As far as what our legislature is doing about that for our specific district, I can't see much. I think the legislature is focused on a lot of social issues, and these social issues doesn't put money in the pockets of the people who are live in the district, doesn't put money in the pocket of the people who are moving to the districts. So I think that's something that we definitely can work on. I have a lot of ideas, and I have it outlined on my website, joecollinsfortexas.com, as well as every other initiative that we spoke about earlier. The easiest way to do that is through public-private partnerships. I believe that the Texas government should and does have the means to help facilitate small businesses when it comes to economic development, as well as more infrastructure projects, so we can make sure that we have the groundwork set up for small businesses to move into our communities. Bipartisanship, in my opinion, is extremely important. Nowadays, you see people veering too far right and too far left with no room in the middle. I think the majority of people who are in America and the majority of people who are in Texas kind of see things down the middle. And so I believe that with me being a younger person looking to get into politics and be a legislature, I think it's going to be an ideal situation where we are able to come together and work with people of different political party perspectives to get things done. It has to be a compromise. It's not one side is right or another side is right. It's how can we come to the middle to create legislation that's going to improve the quality of life for people in Texas.